Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, Donald Trump and the Republicans have been getting these big red flashing warning signs about the midterms, and another one came out recently. So, I shared with you guys, I think it was about a week ago, that there was the Democrat who won a special election down in a ruby red district in Texas. Well, now we have another one that just happened down in Louisiana. It was another Trump district where he won by double digits. And again, it's Louisiana. I mean, it's a very red state. And now the Democratic candidate, I believe it was a state Senate seat. So not, US Senate, but state Senate seat. Democrat won again. Democrat won by double digits. So swung about 30 points or 40 points in the opposite direction. And so, I mean, this is happening across the nation. I don't know what it's going to take for Republicans to finally wake up. But anyway, all of this has been shocking enough. But then we learned something that should really terrify Republicans, especially down in Texas. So when the officials reviewed all of the voter data for that election that I was just referring to, the one that happened a few weeks back, what they found is that it was Latino voters who swung the most back to Democrats. Latinos swung back to the Democratic candidate by 50 points. Remember, there was a bunch of talk after the 2024 election about, Hispanic voters, they moved to the right, they moved to Trump by unprecedented numbers. And that was true. But they appear to be having a little bit of buyer's remorse. They're kind of like, Job in Arrested Development. I've made a terrible mistake. So in mid-January, this is another key point, the U.S. Hispanic Business Council, they shared a survey that they conducted with Politico, and it showed this very same thing that I'm talking about. Hispanic voters are having major regrets. So here's an article that talked about this. The president and CEO of the council told Politico, quote, "The broader Hispanic community certainly feels let down. It would be different if immigration and the economy had not been principal talking points for Trump. On both fronts, we didn't get what we thought we were going to get." And then when they were asked about their current economic situation, a large majority of these Hispanic voters said that they were either just surviving or struggling. And some of them said that their situation was impossible. So here's the breakdown, as you can see. Almost 40% said they were just surviving. I mean, that is pathetic. Less than 19% said, yeah, I'm thriving, I'm doing really well. And then around the same time that this survey came out, there's a polling group called Navigator Research that released their findings of a focus group that they conducted with all independent voters who are also Latino. All of these people supported Trump in 2024, everyone in this focus group. This is pretty funny. The backlash is just unbelievable, or it is believable, I guess. Navigator found that the economy, though, is not the only issue that they have with Trump. They're also pissed off about all of the immigration stuff that's going down, all the cruel tactics. They're also pissed off about how preoccupied he is with foreign countries. So a Hispanic woman in her 30s told this moderator this: "It just seems like the mask is off. That's who he is, and it's kind of crazy." And then there were other ones that I brought up for you guys, and I'm going to share even more. There were so many comments and all these negative comments from these participants, so I couldn't fit them all into this video. So I have another video coming up for you guys, probably tomorrow or the next day, where I share more of the feedback from this focus group. But there was a man also in his 40s, again, an independent voter, Latino voter. He also said he had some reservations about voting for Trump initially. based on what he was saying at his rallies. But the man said, I took a chance on him, based on what he did in his first term. I thought that it would be okay. Here's what he says now. This man says, it's not the same person. It's not the same president. So it's been very dismaying. And almost every single one of the participants in this focus group raised their hand when they asked them, do you know someone who's been targeted by ICE? One man in the group said that he himself had been confronted by agents, even though he's a US citizen. And in regard to Trump's rhetoric and his DHS action, or not his DHS actions, but DHS's actions, there was another 30-year-old or 30-something-year-old woman, and she told the moderator this: you're not just deporting people and ripping families apart, you are also creating an environment of hatred and feeding racism. I mean, again, how did they not know? How did these people not know from his first term? And then there was another male participant, and he said this: he's creating his own Gestapo. He's going after Hispanics now, but when he gets done with Hispanics, you know who's next. And then a bunch of the participants also slammed Trump for continuing their foreign aid funding. And one guy in the group slammed Trump and said this. He said, Mr. No More Foreign Wars just immediately keeps the funding going to Ukraine. And then it goes on to say, Trump derangement syndrome actually has come to fruition. He actually is a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's a complete contrast with who he was in 2016. Those are the comments that just send me through the roof, because no, he is not. He is not any different than what he was in 2016. You just weren't paying attention before. I will give him this. It is worse this time because he doesn't have anyone in his cabinet or in his orbit that has any kind of conscience or any kind of moral compass or principles or ethics. I mean, they're all amoral sociopaths. And so, yeah, you don't have the guardrails that were there in the first administration, but he was not any different. I mean, day one, he started doing his, banning people from other countries. He did his Muslim ban. Anyway, when they were asked to grade Trump's presidency so far, they each gave him either a D or an F, the majority. So here's the thing, though, guys, and I've shared this with you guys before. Or actually, I think all of them did, now that I'm thinking about it. I think they all gave him a D or F. None of these people said that they would vote for Kamala Harris if they had to do it over again. One woman in this group said, I would have just stayed home if I, knew then what I know now. I just wouldn't have voted. In general, none of these focus group participants had anything good to say about the Democratic Party as well. So unless Democrats really step up, unless they make an effort to win these people back by, giving them concrete plans for how they're going to improve their economic conditions, this is what we're going to see. We are going to see this voting bloc swinging back and forth between the parties forever. So Democrats got to get it together. They got to stop with the nonsense and start focusing on how they can make people's lives better and actually do it. Not the bullshit they've pulled in the past when they had a super majority and still didn't pass anything like universal health care. So, all right, guys, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.